morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. Oh my God, like everything that can possibly go wrong with a podcast setup will go wrong. That has definitely been seen today. But a big thank you for everybody tuning in. We're dealing with a lot of issues here right now, but we're going to work through it. Welcome back to the show. I'm not going to lie, like I'm pissed the fuck off right now. Like I want to read you an email. I want to read you an email I received from Instagram. Now, I'd had a stalker going after me on Instagram, and it's gotten me pissed the fuck off. I've dealt with this, forwarded to the lawyers, and on Instagram in my stories, on my verified account, I'd asked for a collection of DMs from anyone this person had messaged slandering me, calling me a deadbeat father, all just manner of erroneous accusations. So I wrote into Instagram, and basically after they'd banned my account, I tried showing them the police report I filed. I've tried showing them everything I can to say, look, I also even posted in the stories, do not harass this person, just give me the information. So I've forwarded this to Instagram on their help desk, and this is what they wrote me in response. Now, keep in mind, I never asked anybody to go after this person. They said, good afternoon. I first want to thank you for your patience while we worked on reviewing your account to try and get your email reset and active the account again. I know returning your account as soon as possible is extremely important to your brand and business. Upon review, the IG account was correctly removed and cannot be restored. Due to these policy issues, we would not be able to further assist you and access your account nor reinstate the account. Ladies and gentlemen, like, I'm confused here. I'm really confused here. If I have someone that is coming after me and I am trying to take legal recourse to essentially protect myself and my brand, and I want that person's information that they're sharing to people illegally or accusing me of, which could impact my business, I want them held accountable. How else am I supposed to collect information, Instagram? I have one more method. We're going to try and fight this, and we're going to continue pushing forward on it. Now, here's the other part that's got me pissed off, and I talked about it in yesterday's show. A lot of my bigger account friend holders that I have been there for throughout the years, that I have helped grow their channels, are quiet. I put a post up on my Instagram today at John Burke 11B, John Burke 11 Bravo. I basically said, hey, thank you to everybody that has supported me, that's been here for me this entire time. Thank you for that. And I want to give a big shout out to all these other big names that I helped grow, that when their accounts got banned, I shouted them out, even when I was busy. Took time out of my day just to freaking give them a real hey, so-and-so got banned, check them out, this is their new backup account. I was like, anytime you need help, come to me. Where are these people at for me now? Where are they at for me now? Because they're not fucking here. Now, here's the thing that I'm pissed off most of all about myself. I knew better than to ever trust any motherfucker out there. Because a lot of these people are grifting, clout-chasing motherfuckers, and they have a lack of one thing that I do appreciate, and that's loyalty. There is none. It's all about what can I do to chase clout and fame and this other stuff, but fuck anybody else that helps me in my ongoing fight. That's what it comes down to. And that's just the way of the world. I can't sit here and demand that people change. I think that's very ignorant of me, because people, you can't change human nature. It won't happen. So I think we should always look for blessings in disguise. Instagram has banned two big accounts of mine. My first account, John Burke 1, that had over like 240,000 followers. And that's how it launched Shell Shock. And then my second account, the John Burke, which is actually verified, they banned that. It just seems, based upon them banning Dan Bongino from YouTube, it seems like eventually now, the censorship and fascism that has been embraced by the left and these big tech, which again, it is well within their right to do so. But now this is where it's left content creators such as myself and many others. This is where it's left us. Where are we supposed to go? There are so many other apps that not a lot of people are actually using. Everyone is sticking with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and things such as that. That's where the fight's at, right? Well, what happens when they ban you? All that time you invested is gone. It's done. It's over. Finished. Finito. So now we've taken it upon ourselves to do what we should have been doing this entire time. Something that would just say, fuck big tech. Today, we have launched the All American Savage Show website. It's allamericansavageshow.com. We've just started the build-out of it. I'll show you what it looks like. This is the beginning. We are live on Rumble right now as well, folks. We are on Rumble. Just look up John Burke on Rumble. We're there. We're there. This is the allamericansavageshow.com website. This is what we're going to be doing on this website. I'm going to be posting articles that I'm seeing across social media, putting my opinion out there, sharing information on there that cannot be touched by big tech, sharing photos and videos that cannot be censored. Every Monday, I'm going to be blasting out a newsletter to you. In the podcast that we do, we're going to be sharing articles in these newsletters of where we're getting this information from so you can go see it for yourself. Now, here's what I'm going to make a promise not to do. I'm going to do my best to verify and vet any and all information that we come across. I can't promise I'm always going to get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong. But if I do get it wrong, I will retract those statements. You have my word on that. But here is the website. It's allamericansavageshow.com. Scroll to the bottom and sign up for the email list. It says, the All American Savage. Now, this is a work in progress. We're going to grow this. We're going to scale it. We're going to make it 10 times better. You have my word. 10 times better. The All American Savage Show is a podcast vidcast that is dedicated to making you think twice about... we haven't updated this. I don't like this. I don't know why this is not updating. Maybe it's because I didn't update this. Let me try it again. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Little banner pops up. Stay in the know by staying connected. First name, email, sign up. There it is right there. Again, the All American Savage Show is a podcast vidcast that is dedicated to promoting the idea of thinking for yourself. No censorship and encouraging others to have those difficult conversations, discussions that need to happen. No big tech here, and no regulating what can be discussed for fear of what offends others and what the government doesn't seem as factual. I'm live on YouTube right now. My YouTube fans over there with the John Ross group, I fucking love y'all. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I really do. But YouTube now censors anyone that has any conflicting opinion that goes against what the experts under Lord Emperor Fauci says. Did y'all know this? I bet many of you didn't know. Everybody saw the debacle with Neil Young, this guy who I don't know why he's not dead yet. Like, this guy's just, he looks like a fucking walking potato with sideburns.
Yeah. I'm sure his audience doesn't know what Spotify is.
Exactly. So Neil Young basically tries to cancel Joe Rogan. Good luck with that. But Neil Young turns to Spotify and says, if you don't remove Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm removing my music. He has removed his music. But did you know this? Spotify has also removed Joe Rogan episodes, approximately 41 to be exact. Roughly, I think. Spotify is censoring Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan is center of the aisle. This guy he asks hard questions to both sides. He's even offered to have Fauci on his show. Fauci has refused. There have been many other experts on the opposite side that have told Fauci, debate us. Let's have a cordial debate to discuss information. And he denies it. He won't go into the spotlight, and he will not debate the science that he has pushed for almost 3 years now. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that once again, big tech has stepped in and censored. What right does anyone have to censor information? Now, look, I understand with a platform comes a modicum of user guidelines that you have to have. No sharing pornography, which is ironic to me because you cannot do that on YouTube. You cannot do that on Facebook nor Instagram, but you can do it on Twitter, but you can't be President Donald Trump. I can go on Twitter right now as a child, create an account, they wouldn't know any better, and go find porn. Okay? That's what happens. That's why you don't let your child have a phone.
Yep.
But the sitting president can't have a Twitter account. Oh, by the way, the Taliban can. The Taliban that has killed Americans, that stands for everything opposite of what big tech leftists stand for. Do you not see the hypocrisy here? Look, this is not just a matter of saying, why are you censoring conservative? Why are you censoring anybody? This is what happens. And I'm fucking tired of it. I am so fucking fed up with this bullshit. We sit here and we try and get information out there day after day after day. Even I have changed my way of thinking. And that's the one thing that definitely made me realize we don't have a home on either side. If you listen to this show, you don't have a home either. The left does not want you. And if you disagree with the right, they don't want you. Where are we left to go? Where are we supposed to go? Those of us that are seeking knowledge and truth. What's left? I don't have an answer for that. Because once Trump launches his new app that's supposed to release next month, and we'll be on it, we'll test it out, but I can already tell you right now, it's going to be a right-leaning echo chamber. It will be dominated by these public figures that are in bed with the MAGA movement, with Turning Point, every single one of these groups that have become the big establishment. And God forbid if you buck against the system and say, hey, I disagree with the left, but then when you raise your hand and say, wait, what about when I disagree with the right? Well, no, that's not tolerated here either. Do you know why a lot of these big news people will not have me on their shows as a guest? And I've tried. Because it makes too much sense to have someone on there that's going to play devil's advocate. When I went on Andy Frisella's show, our podcast blew up a lot because people were like, I like the fact that you disagree with Andy on these things. And that's what we want. John, why'd you have Crenshaw on? Because I disagree with him. And that's what I want. Civil discussion and debate must happen. It's got to happen. So my position is changing. My goal is not to tell you what to think, but just to show you how I think. And I don't always get it right. I think the one thing a lot of these influencers get wrong is that they backpedal themselves into a corner within their own echo chamber where essentially they as a public figure can never get it wrong. They put themselves on this pedestal of saying, I'm always going to have it right. And their supporters are the exact same way. I want to spawn a community of savages, independent, critical thinking savages that don't just automatically dismiss what you have to say because you're on the opposing political side. And I will acknowledge that in my past, I have not been very supportive of promoting that ideology. I will admit that. And I've got to change for the better on this. It's time for John Burke to do a little growing up, and I realize this. Maybe this is what I needed. I don't know. But we have got to come full circle around and say, look, whether I agree or disagree with you, you should be able to say what it is that you want to say in disagreement. Because I'll tell you right now, all big tech has done when they have censored people that even I disagree with, all you do is you magnify their message because now there are ways to get that messages out there. People are getting fed up. They're getting fed up with the YouTube censorship, with the Instagram censorship, and especially the Facebook censorship. Google censors. It's nuts to me. And this is where we're at. We're going to continue doing this show, but we're going to start pushing all traffic to allamericans.show.com. In the future, we'll create an app, a place where you can go to essentially, and I'm going to be bringing on writers and things such as that, to where I'm going to have left-leaning people on there and right-leaning people on there. But what I don't want is to create an echo chamber that you're going to go on there and you're going to know, well, if it's John, I pretty much know he's going to think this way. I want to bring on good writers that know what they're doing, that can articulate their points and not just try to essentially get you to believe them, but just to open up your mind to new perspectives for you to take that information, digest it, and then come to your own conclusion. That's what we need. That's what we need more of. Monday's episode, we have Nick Frias. He's a delegate. He's coming on the show. Huge TikTok following. I'll be blasting out the newsletter saying, hey, these guests are coming on. Oh, did I mention we're doing giveaways on these email lists? We're going to be picking 2 winners per week to win tankards that we've created or shaving products from Tipsy Shaving, things like that. I'm not going to spam your emails. I'm not going to blast you with dumb shit. It's essentially a way for me to stay connected with you, the supporter, the viewer, the listener, to where big tech can't censor. Because this is the way it works. When you have a large platform, like my Facebook page right now has over 500,000 people on it. I've just turned my messages on Facebook. People can't even find me on Instagram anymore. I got a text from a buddy of mine today. He's like, I typed your name in. You don't even pop up. It's like, yeah, I figured. That's why when I got banned, people can't find me. You go type in John Burke into Instagram right now, you're going to find about maybe 3 dozen fake accounts. 3 dozen fake accounts. Instagram won't pull them down. I've reported them. So where do you find me at? Oh, they hide me. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Because they're afraid. They're afraid of what we've got to say. So if you go to this website, allamericans.show.com, that's where you can sign up to get the emails. When we create the app, you'll have that as well. We'll be posting all the articles because most people don't want to go on a desktop. They want to go from their phone, and I understand that. I'll still be streaming the podcast live on Twitch. And here's the crazy part. Twitch is owned by Amazon, but Twitch has never come against me. They've actually been very supportive of my freedom of speech on their platform, as long as we don't violate terms of services. And I respect that. Of all platforms that people get pissed off about, Twitch has actually been the most conducive. And that's what's crazy to me. But that's why I think Twitch is going to dominate here in the future. You want to host your podcast and stuff like that? I think a lot of people are going to shift over to Twitch. I really do. Bongino got banned off of YouTube. And we're going to get to the show today. Don't get me wrong. We're going to get to the show. But my presence henceforth on social media is to get people to pull away from that and come join us on the show website, on the app, for our modicum of information that you want to take in. And I think other creators are going to start doing the same, because it doesn't make sense to me why I can sit there and create this content, put this effort and work into it, read through all the messages, read through the news articles, trying to decipher what's bullshit and what's truth, and then give it back to the people. Well, when Instagram tries to censor that, they're afraid. So I'll be reading your messages. I'll be reading your emails the best that I can. I have a Telegram chat channel now. We have over 3,000 members, and it's growing to where they're forwarding me these news articles to look at. Like, I have a constant flow of information coming to me. A lot of it's bullshit, and a lot of it's not. Now, I can stream on my private YouTube channel, the All American Savage Show on YouTube, because YouTube isn't watching that one right now. They're watching my big one. That's what she said. But if you go look at the alternate YouTube channel, it's the All American Savage Show. You'll see it there. We'll continue streaming live over there. We'll be streaming live there and on Rumble and on Twitch moving forward. But I wanted to blast this out to the people to let them know this is the position they have forced us to take. I am tired of it. And I know you see it too. When you go on Facebook and you type something out that's not even controversial and not even really offensive, and they ban you. Again, I'm restricted. I'm not even streaming on Facebook right now because they have me banned. I'm telling you. Yeah, they said salty crackers pulling people. This is what we have to do. It's getting to the point where I'm waiting for YouTube to go after Rogan. Like, really just remove him all. I think Rogan's next.
Oh,
Rogan,
he's the biggest threat right now.
He's the biggest threat they've got right now.
Because everybody likes him.
And every single one of these influencers out there, you need to push them. We need to unite on this. And I know it's not going to come from me. I'm not big enough. But once enough of these influencers have had enough, there's going to be a change. I really think there will be a change. People asking in the chat where you can get my the Telegram room. I'll get it for you. Hold on. I'll get you the link. So if you're watching live on Twitch, you'll get all this stuff, and I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Or maybe I deleted it. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat have the freaking link to the Telegram chat room? And Rogan is too big. You can't cancel him. He's already got his own website. He's got his newsletter. He's got all that. He's done it right from the start, and he's smart to do it that way. Well, now we got to take a page out of his book.
Look at him. He moved from California to Austin.
Yeah, he got sick of it.
Yeah.
Tesla moved out of these liberal shitholes are destroying free market, but they're pushing more and more for socialism.
You know, and if you look at what they ban, and Bongino even said himself that he wasn't going to be posting on YouTube anymore. Mm-hmm. But that's
probably why YouTube banned him, because they're kind of like, oh,
right.
no, we get the last
right,
laugh.
Yeah. Exactly. But they said it was spreading misinformation, but he was reading.
The same thing I got strikes for when they accused me of spreading misinformation.
Yeah, reading the CDC guidelines.
It's like, how am I getting slammed for this?
So,
and I'm just reading what your experts have written. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yep.
These standards they've created, these far outlandish standards, don't even make any sense anymore.
So,
Like, I don't know what I can and can't say.
yeah, the question is, why are they doing this?
Because they're scared.
Yeah.
Because they're rattling. The cages are being rattled. The experts are being challenged. Here is the link. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Brenda Bear. There is the link right there in the chat in Twitch. If you're watching, you can go join this. Now, again, there are terms of services on Telegram. No pornography. Don't post porn. But here is the link to the Telegram chat room. You can join me there. You can push articles in there. I scan it. And I don't comment a lot, but I'm reading it. But I'm telling you, like, this is what I don't understand about our leftist friends across the aisle. How are you not getting on board with this and saying this is wrong? This is not right. It's not right. Because eventually that sword that's going after us, it's coming after you.
Oh, yeah. Those useful idiots, all those limousine liberals.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be the first ones to go if
Yeah.
this country ever fell to communism.
Like, do you not understand that what they're doing to Joe Rogan right now in an attempt to censor him, even one of these federal officials is stepping up saying, yes, this spreading misinformation, and Joe Rogan's done nothing wrong. Legally, they can't get him because he hasn't done anything illegal. He hasn't made any false claims. But the reason they are trying to take him down is because they are losing control. So right now, all information for the most part is coming from social media and big tech. When big tech loses control and now people start questioning the narrative, they don't like that. Mm-hmm. So what my message to my liberal friends across the aisle that you don't seem to understand is, what if the science changes? That's entirely possible, is it not? We've already seen it firsthand. We've seen how the CDC has shifted, especially over the last 6 months, to come more so in line with what we've been saying all along, what the other experts have been saying. But we'll go back to these liberals that were like, no, misinformation should be canceled out. Science is not guaranteed. It can change. So the very same people that you were in support of censoring and silencing, that the science at that time supposedly did not support, what if the science does start supporting that, and then they come after you for what you once believed? That sword swings two ways, and you don't realize this. This is crucial. This is important. This goes beyond our individual political ideals and perspectives. It's a simple fact that big tech is in bed with the government. They are one. They are the same. They control the media. There is no more free press. It's all bias. It's all bullshit. And they've done it to themselves through clickbait, ad revenue, everything they can do to make a buck. But fuck the truth. Fuck real journalism. It doesn't matter. That's what it's come down to. You won't get that from us. The website is free. Doesn't cost you a single fucking dollar, and we will never charge. If you want to support us financially, you can go sign up over on Twitch. I really appreciate it. And Twitch is free, but you can become a subscriber if you want. And I really appreciate that. We're probably going to create the All American Savage Show on Twitch, come to think of it, instead of the John Burke Show or John Burke channel. That's probably my next project. We're building out this website, and I'm going to be bringing in liberal writers, conservative, center. I want everything. It's going to take a lot of work. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm fucking tired of it. I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of these hypocrites. I'm sick of the lying. It's gone to the point where it's really over the line now. And maybe I should have taken this tactic a while back. I probably should have. I should have listened. I should have watched. I should never put myself in the position where I become fully reliant upon social media in regards of getting my news and getting my information out there, pushing stuff. It's gone too far. So, if you want, this is the website, allamericansavageshow.com. Sign up for the emails. You can receive notifications there. Sign up for the ass. Get yourself some good ass there. All American Savage Show. Sign up for some good ass.
You're welcome.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All American Savage Show. We're going to redo the stream. We're going to have some overlays coming up Josh is designing. We've got a lot of work going on behind the scenes right now. Did I mention at the same time that Sarah, our operations manager, is making this website come into fruition? We are actually building out a studio in the back of our warehouse for Josh and I, a more professional studio. We're taking this way more seriously now. It's time to really get in this fight. We're building out a professional-looking studio to where I can have my office back. We're going to have guests that we're going to bring in, all kinds of stuff. It's time to level up. And the first way to start doing that is pulling the fuck away from social media and the control they have. That's where we're going with it. So again, you can sign up at the All American Savage Show website at this link. And if you want, in my Telegram chat room, you can go join there. I think the link is right there. All right. I appreciate you listening. Let's get into the show. Ready for the music for this day in history? Josh is so not ready.
You really sprung
I
it
swear
on
to
me.
God, you're fired from this.
You sprung it on me.
I sprung it on you? All right. We are the rebellion. Welcome to the revolution. This day in history. On January 27th, 1945, Soviet troops enter Auschwitz, Poland, freeing the survivors of the network of concentration camps and finally revealing to the world the depth of the horrors perpetrated here. Auschwitz was really a group of camps designated 1, 2, and 3. There were also 40 smaller satellite camps. It was at Auschwitz II at Birkenau, established in October of 1941, that the SS created a complex monstrosity orchestrated, killing ground, 300 prisoner barracks, 4 bathhouses in which prisoners were gassed, corpse cellars, and cremation ovens. Thousands of other prisoners were also used for medical experiments overseen and performed by the camp doctor Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death. The Red Army had been advancing deeper into Poland since mid-January, having liberated Warsaw and Krakow. Soviet troops headed for Auschwitz. In anticipation of Soviet arrival, SS officers began a murder spree in the camps, shooting sick prisoners and blowing up crematoria in a desperate attempt to destroy the evidence of their crimes. When the Red Army finally broke through, Soviet soldiers encountered 648 corpses and more than 7,000 starving camp survivors. There were also 6 storehouses filled with hundreds of thousands of women's dresses, men's suits, and shoes that the Germans did not have time to burn. If you go ever and visit Washington, D.C., and you go to the Holocaust Museum, you can see a lot of this stuff there to this day. You can see rooms filled with old shoes and hair and things of that nature. It's disgusting. And that concludes this day in history. I like that new music. That music works. That music works. All right, first topic we're getting into today, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, by the way, when you sign up for that email, we're going to be taking some feedback. What do you want to see on the show? Topics you want to see discussed, formats, layouts, any constructive criticisms you have to where we can make this better for you, the listener. We're going to be all ears. Now, there's things that we cannot do, some things without of our wheelhouse, but we'll do our best to facilitate a good podcast for you, the viewer and listener, and things such as that. All right, trending right now. If this is coming from The Hill, if you have not seen this, Dan Bongino, whom I don't, Josh loves Bongino. I don't always listen. I don't consume a lot of other people's content because I feel like maybe I don't want to take anything from them. I just want to come up with original thought on my own.
I think he did such a great job.
I'm not saying he's bad.
Like with his books and stuff with the Russian collusion stuff and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, his detective work and his police skills really shine through in his
But the point being, though, is Bongino podcast, for his opinion, has been banned from YouTube. And I know you read that. Mm-hmm. What did you told me this earlier. What did he get banned for?
Yeah, he was just reading what the CDC was saying about the vaccines and masks. So basically reading back their words on his podcast, talking about what they were saying about how the masks provided little to no protection against the Chinese virus.
Yeah.
And
he got banned for it.
Right.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't that. He got a suspension for it, and then he continued posting clips on his alternate account, and they banned him for that. I read that, or I said basically the full ban was that he was trying to duck a suspension.
No, that wasn't accurate at all. They misreported the entire thing because he went back through and read their own word, and he debunked it all.
So the article, this is coming from The Hill, it says YouTube permanently bans Dan Bongino. YouTube on Wednesday permanently banned conservative commentator Dan Bongino from the platform, saying he attempted to evade a previous suspension. This is what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. The Fox host uploaded a video to his main channel. I know I'm going off topic here, but I think this is eventually what has to happen. Fox and CNN, we just need to pull from them. We need to pull from them. Because I feel like Fox is so far right and CNN is so far left, there is no common ground in the middle point. I think there's enough independent journalists and influencers that realistically can formulate and create their own news agencies in a sense. A place where they can actually put out, I mean, if you're, Crenshaw and I disagree with this on this point, because I basically said, I feel like right now, if there was a news agency that did not take on a moniker that was related to freedom or liberty or anything, because instantly when you do that, they think right-leaning. But they didn't take on anything left-leaning. If you just created something that was center line and all you did was just reported facts, no bias, no opinion pieces, and just facts, I think that would actually do very well. Because people are like, where do I go to get actual information? That's a very good question, because none of us have an answer. Even The Hill is right-leaning. CNN, we all know, is left-leaning. MSNBC is left-leaning. Fox is right-leaning. OAN is right-leaning. A lot of these agencies, they lean a certain direction. So, I mean, the question really is are we beyond having a neutral journalistic site? I don't think we are.
Like, when Trump was running for president, Fox News wasn't his friend.
No,
I mean, he did have some...
Yeah. It's all about who controls.
Yeah, he did have some hosts. Obviously, Sean Hannity was it.
Look what Glenn Beck did. Glenn Beck did the same thing. He was anti-Trump. So you see, this is the thing that pissed me off about Glenn Beck. Is he referred to some Trump supporters as brown shirts? And I'm like, what the shit? Like, I remember listening to him. I was like, whoa, like you are way off base on this. And it's not that you can't criticize somebody's base, but if we root ourselves in this idea that we should be accurate with our reporting and our discussions, like to sit there and say that some of Trump supporters are brown shirts, like I don't know if I can really agree with that.
Yeah.
I think call them for what they are, but don't use a name as a dog whistle or a buzzword, because I think you're conflating the two, and that's when you lose truth. I can't agree with that. But I feel like a lot of these people, if we went more center-lined towards like, look, these are the facts, like a car crash happened today in San Francisco, 3 were killed, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's it. Like political. Dan Bongino was banned by YouTube for this, that, and the other. This is YouTube's statement. This is Dan Bongino's statement. There's the information. Do with it what you will. I think that's a good way of going about it as a news agency. But the point that I'm saying, though, is like Dan Bongino is hosted by Fox. Instantly, I think Dan Bongino is going to be thought of as extremely right-leaning, even though he might not be. I don't know.
I don't think he doesn't tout himself as a conservative. I mean, he'll
does.
definitely tell you that.
Well, I think he's a Republican.
You know, he is. But he'll tell you, Republicans are going to be your answer to everything. Yeah. Democrats are definitely the reason that things are going so shitty right now.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
I mean, other than
the other thing, I talked about this in my Instagram live.
Glimmers, like with Cinema and Manchin,
It's like, where were Republicans for the last 4 fucking years?
Where have Republicans been like for the past fucking
that's what
5 decades?
That's what I was telling Crunch on the interview. I was like, I was asking him, but I was also kind of nudging him. It's like, y'all better start making some shit happen. When you take back Congress in 2022 midterms, you better start making some shit happen. Because there's going to be a lot more of you motherfuckers getting primaried. Because we're getting sick of it. It's like you sit there and you bend over to the left. So it's like, if we're talking about big tech censorship, which again, let me clarify my position. I am all in favor of a business being able to do whatever the fuck it wants with no government interventionism or protection. Now, with that being said, if the government steps in and offers protection, it's no longer free market. So I am in favor of government involvement in regards to big tech. Or you pull the fuck away from big tech and you leave those cocksuckers open to being sued the fuck out of. You don't protect them anymore. Which is it? And this is why I'm all for small government. So if Facebook wants to act as a moderator instead of a publisher, that's fine. You'll be treated accordingly. Or you could just be a place where information can be shared. Also including misinformation. That's what comes with it. But that misinformation also is rooted in opinion. You cannot censor opinion. You can't. Because what if that opinion is right? Well, John, it could be wrong. Yeah, it could be.
What if it's just an opinion?
What if it's just an opinion? And that's why when the left says, hate speech is real. No, it's not. It's an opinion. It's just an opinion. That's all it is. And that's why it's so scary. It's very scary. I don't think people realize this.
Yeah, I think that Crenshaw probably got a lot out of y'all's interview as well.
I don't know.
I think he did. I mean,
I hope he did. I mean,
you could see kind of in his statements as of late that
is the audio working?
He's come around on his some of his positions, I think.
He has. He's changed a few of them. He's changed a few of them.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
I mean, if he comes on here and he's like, okay, well, I could see everybody's outrage on why politicians investing in the stock market probably isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And then,
Let me relaunch this real quick. Right. That should have fixed the problem. I think it was probably the program we use. The Fox host uploaded a video to his main channel while his secondary channel, which primarily hosted short clips for his digital radio show, was actively suspended for violating YouTube's COVID-19 misinformation policy. When a channel receives a strike, it is against our terms of service to post content or use another channel to circumvent the suspension. Well, that's what he was doing, or that's what they accused him of doing.
That's what he was accused of doing.
But look, here's the thing. When your platform hosts somebody and that channel grows and they depend upon that channel as a source of income and growing and things such as this, what do you expect them to do? They're going to do everything they can to maintain that. I mean, you effectively have cut them off from communicating with their subscriber base. I mean, what do you expect them to do? I would do the same thing. You can't sit there and clutch your pearls. No, egads. They tried to circumvent the ban. I do the same thing. That YouTube just hasn't caught on yet. I'm not big enough. But doesn't that say something? Isn't it kind of funny? I have a YouTube audience of almost 300,000, and hardly any of them know I actually do these live streams.
Yeah.
They've censored so fucking hard. Even on Facebook, if I do a live stream on Facebook of an audience of 600,000, I might get a total of 70 to 100 live viewers.
Yeah.
Really?
Weird.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Here's
What do you got?
let's see. Following a 1-week suspension from YouTube for quoting Dr. Fauci saying masks don't work.
Yeah.
Dan Bongino uploaded a video to their platform titled "Why I'm Leaving YouTube," where he announced all future content of his would be posted exclusively on Rumble.
As it should be. I mean, it makes sense to me. It's if you don't want me to be here, then I fucking won't be here.
In response, YouTube attempted to a poorly executed "you can't break up with me if I break up with you" first approach.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so his video was
Twitch, real quick. Is the audio good on Twitch? Because I'm getting reports on YouTube that it's not. Here's the Twitch link. Come over to Twitch, download the Twitch app, follow me at the John Burke. I think the audio is good over there. Bongino had announced in a video posted earlier this week that he was already planning on leaving YouTube and had nearly 900,000 subscribers on his main channel. Yeah, it's got to be a YouTube issue, guys. Twitch is hearing it fine. ATF said it's good. Bongino will likely continue posting videos on his Rumble and YouTube competitor championed by the far right that he was an early investor in.
Yeah.
I like championed by some on the far right. When people even say far right, I instantly think alt-right. Am I wrong on that?
They do that shit on purpose.
Yeah, that's why The Hill I thought was right-leaning.
Yeah, it's like calling someone like a fringe right or extreme right or
far right is
what does that mean?
Yeah, that's alt-right.
What do we got pitchforks and torches and
I think they compare it to the Charlottesville tiki torching wielding racists out there.
That's why nobody likes them.
I don't blame them. It's ridiculous.
Extreme right.
This comes from The Hill.
Okay.
All right, next in the news, we got Jussie Smollett. Oh, yeah, he's back here. Jussie Smollett will be sentenced March 10th for lying to the police. Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long to sentence this dude? This is ridiculous to me. It doesn't make sense.
I know. That's just taxpayer dollars being sucked out of everybody's wallet.
I don't get this. Literally just freaking, makes no sense to me. Jussie Smollett was convicted last month for lying to the police about a racist, homophobic attack that authorities said he staged, or returned to court for sentencing. March 10th, the judge said. March 10th? How long has this been going on? Are you serious?
2018? Was it 2018?
I want to say 19. Was it it should say, hold on. Yeah, shot in January of 2019 by people who yelled racist and anti-gay slurs. Come to find out, he paid them. He literally wrote them a check. This is how
Nigerians.
stupid. Yeah, this is how idiotic these people are.
Jeez, man.
These people that want to, again, power up and energize the voter base by faking these hate crimes. I mean, that's how racist we are, ladies and gentlemen, in America. If you're listening overseas, we do have a large listening audience overseas. Let me tell you right now, it's so bad in America for black people. It's so racist, they have to fake their own hate crimes. It's that bad. You can walk down the street right now and there's just all kinds of racist words being thrown. Actually, there's really not.
No, never.
We live in Texas. We live in Dallas, Texas. I live in, outside of Dallas. You go to the supermarket. I don't see racist shit everywhere. I see people acting cordially. Oh, it's because, and even also Dallas is a liberal city. Keep that in mind. So I don't know where this racism is coming from. But again, it's so bad in America that Jussie Smollett, black gay actor, and he thought he was going to get away with it. I really think
nearly did.
He almost did. Because people was like, wait, why are you walking downtown Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning and you were approached by two white dudes in MAGA hats? No, because Dave Chappelle did his thing where he said even black people are like, dude, you're lying.
Yeah,
like, you're lying.
same.
You know why? Because there ain't two white people walking downtown Chicago with MAGA hats on. They know they get shot. Which is also kind of bites them in the foot or the ass because it's like, you talk about equality. Well, if you're white, good luck.
Yeah, no kidding.
Talk to me about how it feels being black in America. Talk to me how it feels being white in South Dallas. Please explain that one to me. Don't sit there and think that you've got the monopoly on this because you don't. You are not. This is not the victim Olympics.
I remember when you went down to here in Dallas and there was some protesting going on.
The one that you were filming, yeah.
I wasn't at that one.
Oh.
It was a different one. I can't remember. There's a big protest going on, but you were down there. You were live streaming it, and I know there was some racist slurs thrown at you guys.
Oh, fuck yeah, there was. Oh, was that the one? Oh, I remember the one where we were interviewing the Proud Boys, and there was also Alexander Dominique out there. I know. That's
it wasn't
not the
that one,
yeah,
but it was. Steve Gurn was out there with you.
That's right. Yeah, that was the one where they were taking down the Confederate monument.
Right
there, and oh my God, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. They were like, oh, white boys, all this stuff. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I videotaped it all. I was like, good. I was just kind of like, just be yourself. Keep talking. Keep talking and show the world just how really racist you actually are.
Yeah.
Like, keep showing them that. And,
I remember said anything.
Steve sat there. Steve was he was a pro. And I sat there with the camera right in the dude's face.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? And Steve Gurns just he's sitting there armed too. So if this dude does anything, he's going to get his head blown off.
Yeah, it's
like, go ahead and be racist, man. Show the world what you really are about. Please. And I think a lot of them were Antifa. There's that short little freaking fat dude. He's like, this guy fucking colonized your people, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, this guy didn't do anything.
Colonized your people.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to push. It was ridiculous, but oh my God. Josh Holmes slams liberal media's silence on bombshell immigration footage. They're basically complicit. Josh Holmes, former chief of staff to Senator Mitch McConnell, called out liberal media for the lack of coverage on the bombshell footage showing illegal immigrants being released in the United States. On Outnumbered Thursday, Holmes said the mainstream media is complicit given their failure to report extensively on the Biden administration's border policies. Guys, you know why they're not doing this. You know why they're not doing this. They're not going to show you this. There is a reason why Biden basically pushed Kamala to the border. Kamala has not been to the border. There is a reason why they are remaining silent on this. This is what Democrats are trying to do. By and large, they're trying to keep those borders flooded. And that's why these mayors up in New York City are saying, hey, you don't even have to be a citizen to vote here anymore, or a resident for that matter. They are trying to shift control because they think by promising these illegal immigrants, these government subsidy programs, like come over here, get this, get that, they're going to vote in favor of them. And what I think a lot of these illegal immigrants don't seem to understand is that you're going to flip the economy. There will not be enough people working to support these government welfare programs. This is what concerns me. Somebody made a really good point in the show yesterday talking about, like, I should be getting a tax write-off from all this charitable donations I'm making to these welfare babies.
No kidding.
I should really get a write-off for that. Every time you tax me, that should just be a write-off. It's going to people that don't want to fucking work. Man. John Holmes says, thank God for Fox News because otherwise I don't think anybody would know anything about this. They were talking about having it get out to the media. I think the rest of the media other than Fox is basically complicit in this. There's no short of curiosity whatsoever. I must have missed the statute that passed the House and the Senate that allowed for transport of illegal immigrants to unsuspecting communities. It's coming to you eventually, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming to you. I'm posting the article in the chat. You can see it. You can read the article there. It continues, I didn't see that happen. I didn't see the White House put a policy paper out on that. I didn't hear anyone talk about what could mean to the communities where these illegal immigrants end up. Okay, look, you want to have a hard conversation? Let's have a real hard conversation. You want to talk about the culture down in Mexico? Let's just be real and be frank here, ladies and gentlemen. You do realize that a lot of young women are raped by elderly men, or young women are given to older men to marry and have children with. We're talking about teenage girls. And when these teenage girls and such don't want to put out, they get raped. That's a culture in many parts of Mexico. Don't even get me started on the culture in these Middle Eastern countries about how women are treated. Even in Haiti. So you feminists on the left that are in support of this, you want these people coming over here. Oh, we should respect their culture. Fuck their culture. Your culture is rooted in actual misogyny and racism and the oppression of women. And you sit there and you just lap this shit up. Lap this shit up left and right because you just want to show the world how good of a human being you are and how tolerant you are. I'll be honest with you. There are certain things that you should be intolerant towards. And that starts with vetting these people at the border, regardless if they are black, brown, white, Asian, Latino, it doesn't fucking matter. If you do not adhere to America's culture, which is a melting pot of respect and freedom, you should not be allowed here. Also, if you're a convicted felon in these other countries, you probably shouldn't come here either. I don't want your murderers. The Statue of Liberty does not say, give me your rapists, give me your felons, give me your murderers. Doesn't say that.
Didn't the guy who just held the Jewish synagogue hostage, didn't he come across the southern border?
He was Muslim, yeah.
He came across the southern border.
I'm not sure on that one. I don't know. But I do love how the FBI, I like how the FBI tried phrasing that as saying like, hey, this wasn't like an anti-Semitic thing. This was just, it was completely unrelated. Yet the guy was kind of like, in his last thing he talked about like we hated Jews. That's interesting to me. Very interesting. Even the FBI tries to manipulate. Who do you trust? Who are you supposed to go to, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you supposed to go? It's a very good question to ask. We talk about how the government has mismanaged COVID and what it's costing us. This is a great article right here. This is from Breitbart. It says, Boris Johnson doubles down on tax rises and says absolutely vital to take more to pay for COVID policies. Policies, by and large, that have not worked. I'm going to share the article on Twitch for you to go read for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the article. While Boris Johnson has been accused of making red meat conservative policy giveaways to buttress his waning popularity, he clearly is not wounded badly enough to consider scraping a looming tax rise, insisting it is absolutely vital to increase taxes on working people. The British government has spent over $400 billion keeping the British economy going during the coronavirus lockdowns it elected to impose on the nations. And as a consequence, the coming rise in payroll taxes on British workers must go ahead, the Prime Minister said Thursday. Oh, wow. It's already in America. It's already here, baby. Democrats are known for one thing and one thing alone, raising them taxes.
That's what inflation is.
That's exactly what this is.
Inflation is a tax on everybody, especially the poor.
And here's the thing. Like when you have your liberal friends out there complaining about a business, say, for example, if hamburgers cost an extra 50 cents. I mean, meat in the grocery store, good Lord. Milk, good Lord.
There's a chicken wing shortage.
Yeah. So when you sit there and you see your leftist friends complaining about these businesses raising costs, let me explain some basic economics for you real quick. If I, as a business owner, am offering these wooden mugs at $10 a pop, and I say you can buy them for this much because based upon the cost of goods, cost of labor, this is how much that I can sell this for and make a profit and scale my business. If the government comes in and raises the cost of wood, or basically a causation of their policies and who's elected and things like that, the cost of lumber goes up. Do you think I, as a business owner, am going to eat that cost? No. It's going to be passed down ultimately to you, the consumer. You're going to have to foot that bill. Now, what happens when it's on products that are essential, like milk, bread, meat? You don't have a say-so, or you just don't eat it, which is your right, which in turn is also going to cause another increase. You can't blame the business owner on this. This comes from consumer confidence. This comes from so many different things out there that are related to the fiscal outcome that you, the consumer, has to foot the bill on. So all these policies that these governments set out to enforce on the people, how many millions of dollars was wasted on all of this stuff? All of these things. The closing of small businesses.
Destroyed.
You know who didn't? You know what didn't get closed down? Police departments. You know what didn't get closed down? Hospitals. You know what was incentivized more fiscally from the government? Hospitals. Biden says, hey, even Trump did. Trump's complicit. If you take on more of these COVID patients, we'll foot the bill. No. The government should have never done that. Should have never done that. Because now, greedy corporations, those greedy corporations all the leftists hate, well, essentially, you as the government just offered them the bait and they took it. And they're going to pay him out because they said, like, basically, if you take on these COVID patients, you deal with this, we'll foot the bill. Well, what do you think these hospitals are going to do? They're going to take on more patients. They're going to start writing things like, oh, yeah, this guy died of COVID too. We should get paid for him. And suddenly everyone starts dying from COVID and they start making more money. Because do not get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. You could be Mother Teresa for all I give a shit. A hospital is a business. It is a business at its core. If that hospital is not making money, that hospital closes down. Hospitals are in it to make money just like every other business out there. Do not get that twisted. So now, we see the UK raising taxes to pay for their mismanaged, bumblefucked COVID strategic emplacement of all these policies that cost the taxpayer. That's the other part. You already paid for it. Now you're going to pay for it again.
Like 4 times
you're
over.
You're going to pay for it again. Your children are going to be paying for this. You think it's like a one-time tax bump and that's it? Fuck no.
That's like the most maddening part is that their decisions
the people,
are still costing us.
We, the people, have to pay for the bumblefuckery. I totally just used that. I'm going to use that, the bumblefuckery of their elected officials. Look, Brits, I love you. I get you. But the fact that you still have a queen, fuck that. Absolutely not. And I can't even say that we have it much better over here in America. Our elected officials are fucking retarded.
We got 2 choices.
Yeah, we got 2 choices. You know, it even blows my mind that if you look at the 2020 election, the best we had to offer was Biden, a career politician that hasn't gotten shit done, or Trump. Now, don't get me wrong, Trump's an amazing businessman. But out of all the intellectual minds out there, the economists, all this stuff, this is the best that we have? Like, all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me right now, just think about this. Pull yourself away from the left versus right mindset and just think, what is the best for America? What's going to be best, most beneficial to you, the worker, the consumer? And if you're telling me the best that we can do of a country that has paved the way in so many various different things, medical technology, all these things, the best that we could come up with is a fucking senile old man or a porn star fucking hypocrite. This is what we've got. We can do so much better. So much. Like, look at
yeah, well, look how hard it is.
Tulsi Gabbard. I don't agree with her a lot of things, but she would have been 10 times better than Biden.
A couple potatoes.
A fucking sack of potatoes could be doing better than Biden right now.
But it's all about
and don't get me wrong, Trump did good.
Into it.
Trump did a lot of good things, but Trump was by no means a constitutionally sound president. But he did do a much better job than a lot of these fucking war hawks like Bush and the rest of them.
Yeah, I think he's the best president I've seen in my lifetime,
but here's the point.
Back it up.
What I'm saying though is
there better?
There are way better out there.
Sure,
absolutely. I think Rand Paul would do a damn good job.
Yeah, I think Rand Paul Ron Paul fan.
Yeah, Rand, absolutely. And, imagine if they ran on a ticket
in 2000. Was it? It was 2012.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Ron
remember
Paul
that.
was like leading the Republican pack.
Yeah.
And still they wouldn't talk about him.
No.
They wouldn't bring up the fact
Because
that
he wasn't a GOP establishment kind of guy, and he even knew that. I got a lot of respect for him.
But
The
that's
fact
why,
that he doesn't
I mean,
play the game, he's like, no, I'm gonna hold true to my. But it
it
also
makes
it's a
sense why
representation.
someone like Donald Trump with a huge personality came in like a wrecking
and
ball
money.
and
Fucking
smashed
money.
him.
Yeah.
He hit him right in the mouth.
He did.
That's what it took.
Yeah. But at the same time, now Trump has turned into the establishment. We're gonna get to that why. Trump has turned into the GOP establishment. I've talked with several delegates across the country privately. All of them have said the exact same thing. If you want to be recognized within the GOP and you're running, you better get Daddy Trump's endorsement. Because if you don't, good luck.
Well, honestly,
That's scary to me.
I think he took all the lashes and all the hits to be able to make those decisions.
I just don't think
Do you think he wouldn't pick the right people that would do the right thing?
he had Fauci. He didn't fire Fauci.
That would tarnish his name. I mean, but he didn't
Fauci
hire.
tarnished his name.
He didn't hire Fauci, right?
But he didn't fire him either.
He didn't fire him, but
He
like,
fired so many
But do
cabinet
you think
members.
he would endorse candidates?
Trump is going to do what he did with his
I guess he would, because I think he endorsed some candidates that
Yes.
weren't.
Trump is going to endorse those that are loyal to him. And that's what most presidents do, to be fair.
I don't know that not all of those people were loyal to him.
Who wasn't?
Who wasn't loyal to him?
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
he actually
everybody
endorsed.
that he ended up endorsing Lindsey Graham, right?
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, he's an
Lindsey Graham
establishment guy.
he loves Trump, though. But Lindsey Graham
He doesn't love.
he flipped. He flipped just like Romney.
No, he got on his knees when he needed that vote.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These people flip-flop. But Trump, again, endorsed him because Lindsey Graham was sucking some Trump dick. Romney did the same thing.
Yeah,
These guys are snakes.
been
They are
eye-opening.
fucking snakes.
Like, you always knew politics was full of
yeah.
scumbags.
Yeah.
But like now that the curtain has kind of been pulled
Jesus,
back a little bit, you can really see
These people have no soul.
Yeah.
They have, and this is the game. You got to play the game when you get in there, and that's why I don't want to run. Everybody was like, you should run. I don't want to because you're going to go in there.
Like, how are things going to change unless good men stand up and women stand up?
You want the truth? Revolution. But let me take it a step further. It's not going to change, and the reason for that, even if we did have a revolution already, and this is the outcome of what we got.
It's almost like now we're in like a
corruption.
cold civil war.
Yeah. It's the corruptibility of the human condition, which you will never get rid of.
Because
never
everybody uses tech sites and the internet and everything for business.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And if you don't have like these certain companies, PayPal,
Yeah.
Square,
Yep.
I mean,
Both of
then
which
you get fucked.
dropped us.
Yeah.
Like they dropped us. PayPal, we couldn't. That's why on shellshockcbd.com, this episode is brought to you by Shellshock. That's why people were like, can we use PayPal? PayPal said no. They banned us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, why? We are not doing anything.
And they held like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. I love like this comment and the thing, you were taking your doomer pill today. Fuck you. Ah, you said something I don't ever. Fuck you. But you know what I love about what you just said? You didn't even counter me. You didn't even offer one shred of a counter argument. Show to me a government that exists in today's world that is bereft of the human condition of corruption, greed. Show it to me. I challenge you.
I'll tell you.
You can't.
I'll tell you one thing.
So you don't like it's people like that I just can't fucking stand. Oh, you said something I don't like. Fuck you.
I think one thing that's changed too is
doesn't mean I don't believe in fighting for what's right. Don't get me wrong, but
is how the elections will be held now. I think there's been a lot more light shed on how screwed up our election process is.
But I also think that with the emergence of social media, and this is why it's very worrisome to me, with the emergence of social media and how quickly articles can go viral to include exposing government corruption, that's why when big tech is censoring a lot of this shit, they are really fucking up the way to actually try and expunge these pieces of shit from our government. You look at, and I say that, but at the same token, you look at Ralph Northam. The leftist standards are, if you said anything, if you said a racist joke back in 1960, you're still a racist. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. But even still, by the standards they had created, Ralph Northam stayed in office, and they loved them some Ralph Northam because he came out pro-abortion, even went as far as saying, yeah, they can even pop the baby out of the vagina and still kill it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Put it in a room, make sure it's comfortable, then everybody will decide whether or not we're going to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, let it live.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean,
Trump woke up to how deep the corruption was. Like, we always knew this was corruption. We always knew this was corruption. But then I don't even want to go down that road because then we get into the conspiracy theories of the QAnon movement and all that other shit. But you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying
as
that
far as
Trump,
like the QAnon stuff, I just can't get on board with there's like a secret society moving behind curtains that are making moves and stuff like that. Like
there are way too many independent actors. It's everybody out for themselves.
Right.
Realistically, I think so. Yeah.
No, I think
like there's this.
I think there's election fraud. I think there's always been election fraud. And I think there's been evidence of election fraud, and there's been videos of people stuffing ballot boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me.
I think it's going on for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And that's why Democrats are fighting it so hard right now, because I think in their mind, Republicans trying to enforce these laws that are protecting the sanctity of voting, they see it as them trying to set the parameters of basically them controlling the vote. That's not what's going on right now. That's why instantaneously your Stacey Abrams is out there, these black supremacists at heart utilize their race. These are race baiters at heart. These white liberals and black people like Stacey Abrams are utilizing their race as a form of weaponizing against voter ID. Because they know when you actually say, these are the rules of the game, and we're now going to put into policy ways to enforce them, well, you don't get to manipulate the rules anymore.
Yeah.
Therefore, you don't get to change the outcome. They don't like that. So what do? Race, sexuality, anything they can use to character assassinate anyone that goes against their perspective, they will do. That's why nobody gives a fuck about anyone that's black and says the other person's a racist. Nobody believes you anymore. Because your elected officials have been doing it for years now. And unjustifiably so. So when actual issues of racism occur, no one believes you because you've been screaming wolf for years. For years. I'm a victim of the patriarchal white nationalist. Sure you are. As you sit there and you make your video in your nice car and your iPhone. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody listens to you anymore. And I'm glad. I mean, this didn't have to come. The pendulum has to swing again. It has to. So now, when these minority groups go out there, and they get big tech on their side. Even today, you can go look at your Instagram stories right now. Let's go do a little thing. Let's go to Instagram stories. I'll take a picture. You click that little square box at the top. Let's look at here. Oh, yeah. Share black stories. Hashtag buy black. Support small businesses. All this shit. Support small. That's a good thing right there. Because it used to be support, because Uber
open the door for women.
Uber did the whole friggin' support black-owned businesses. Like, how is this not racist?
Like, how about just support small businesses?
How about we just support a business that offers a good product at an affordable price?
Right.
And if you give a fuck what that business owner's race is, you're an idiot. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're an idiot. And then people will take that as like, oh my God, you don't care about their culture? No, I don't give a fuck about your culture. You know what I care about? Me and mine. The way America was intended to be. I don't give a fuck about you. It's not my job. We don't have some kind of socially binding contract. I go to work, I pay my taxes, and I want to be left the fuck alone. So you and your culture can go get fucked. You know what my culture is? Video games. Video games, and just leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want. But you'll excuse me if I don't give two shits about the predicament that many of you have put yourselves in. Are you against reparations? 100%. Because how far do you want to take that argument? Because am I entitled to reparations from, when my ancestors were slaves? Should I go back to Ireland and go after the Brits? Really? How far should we go with this? Please, let's have that conversation. But it's a conversation people don't want to have. You are not entitled. You are not entitled to any money to that which you did not personally work for. Because at the same point, and here's where this argument goes sideways. If you're a black person that feels that you were entitled to reparations from your ancestors being slave, which, again, by and large, were the rich elites that owned this, like 4% of the population owned all the slaves. You do realize that. So then, if we're going to pay these people reparations, where is that money coming from? Predominantly white taxpayers. So why am I, who never owned slaves, supposed to pay you a fucking dime for work you never did for a person that never owned slaves? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, how are we supposed to know, too, if
there was a legitimate slave? Yeah, that's another thing.
If it was even in our lineage.
Exactly. If you want to go trace down who these slave owners were and go protest them, well, good luck, because they're dead. I mean, are there ancestors now? Let's go beyond reparations. How many of our ancestors are supposed to pay for what exactly, based upon the sins of them? Like, what are we responsible for here?
If you were
Because
to say
here's the thing,
Clintons
a lot
and
of these-
Bidens, I could believe you probably.
Here's a lot of these black slaves that were existed in America. Let's go trace back your lineage to Africa and see what slaves your tribe owned. Are you now required to go pay reparations to Africans? I'm really curious how far back you want to go with this. Are we going to go to the Ottoman Empire that enslaved millions of Christians? What about Egypt with the Jews? How far are we going to go back on this? Please, because you're not special. You were never a slave, so stop with that argument. It's bullshit. Now, if you want to have a discussion about economically how black people and other minorities, not just black people, were at a disadvantage in the 1960s and up, I will have that conversation, and maybe we can come to a conclusion and say, look, maybe we can do this, but we kind of already did. It was called equal opportunity, and it blew up in your faces. And as a result, now you have racism within the ranks and people being put into positions, even in the military, that based upon virtue of skin color and not merit are in positions of authority, and they are fucking horrible. The wrong people should not be or put in those positions based upon race. That's it. That's it. Or are you trying to create an ethno-state here? That's why I'm curious about this. How much black ass are we going to kiss now? Because I'm fucking over it. I want to be left the fuck alone. The history of your ancestors is none of my concern, just like the history of mine is none of yours. And realistically, I don't fucking care about the history of my ancestors. Not to that level, because I'm certainly not going to use it as a crutch. Well, John, you were afforded opportunities because of your skin color. Really? That's interesting. Because I couldn't afford to go to college. I had to join the military. Yeah. Oh, the same advantage that you as a minority can do as well, but you don't want to. Fine, fair enough. So please explain to me where my white privilege got me any kind of benefit. You know how I'm big on social media? I made a viral video using this, the very same thing that every single one of you swinging dicks has access to, the internet and the phone. Am I right? Well, of course I'm right. You can go walk through the ghettos of South Dallas that are predominantly black, and you will see the majority of people have a phone. So please do not sit there and lie to my face and tell me that black people are, number one, too stupid to utilize the internet like Joe Biden has said, or two, too poor to acquire a free government ID. Do you not understand that people like me are actually not your enemy? It's the ones that lie and pander to you and make you look like you are honestly retarded. Yeah, black people, and many of them in these poverty cities don't know how to use the internet. Really? Are you serious with this? You cannot be serious with this. You're telling me based upon an economic issue of them being in the lower end of the economic pool, they're too stupid to utilize the internet? Black people, seriously, think about this. This is how dumb Democrats think you are. This is how dumb the white liberal in office right now thinks you are. His vice president imprisoned you. What the hell are you thinking? So these very same liberal white TikTokers out there doing these videos talking about, oh, fight the power, white supremacy, blah, blah, blah. They're realistically not on your side. They are realistically not on your side. Oh, by the way, and I love this. I fucking love this. Black people are waking up. They're waking up. Did you see the thing Charlemagne did? Mm-mm. Charlemagne just did an interview, and I don't even watch. I don't listen to rap. I don't like rap. But Charlemagne has a very strong presence in the black community. He went on this show, and I watched the episode, and this dude is finally fucking getting it. He's talking about all these people that hated MAGA. What are the Democrats doing? So they're fucking it up. I kind of prefer Trump because he basically said, you said you were going to govern in a certain way, and you're not. You're lying. Like, bro, he gets it. And now that voice is going to turn around and tell other black people that are watching him and say, look, wake the fuck up. They are promising you all these things and they are not delivering. Maybe it's time that we started looking at these politicians that are making all these promises, but they have no capability of fulfilling said promises. Democrats, look, this governorship that's going on, this gubernatorial run coming up with Abbott and all these people, Beto comes in there and he says, we're going to take your AR-15s. Do you not understand that this guy is playing on your ignorance? Do you not realize that Beto does not have that power when he was running for Congress? Republicans, you need to understand this too. When these people come in there and they're running for Senate or they're running for Congress and they say, I saw this one dude on Twitter and it blew my mind. He's a conservative. I forget where he was running at. I was like, vote to elect me. He basically said, share this. I'm almost up to 40,000 followers so you can empower me to go to Congress and impeach Biden. Really? Okay, explain to me this. Twofold question. Number one, how does your follower count dictate whether or not you'll be able to do that? Secondly, please explain to me why you're going to waste taxpayer fucking money on impeaching President Biden when the Senate or Congress is split. You don't control the House. It's going to die on the floor. Again, another Republican, just like the Democrats, playing upon the ignorance of the voter by telling him these feel-good statements that are not backed in reality. They are fucking lying. All to get your vote. Because they know a lot of you don't understand how the system works. And they play upon your ignorance. That's what they do. Just to get a vote, just to wiggle themselves into that position where they can get into the game, get that money, get all that shit right there, get power, suck Daddy Trump's dick, become the establishment on the GOP. That's all that fucking matters, man. That's all they care about. It's fucking money.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them.
It's kind of how I felt back in the George Bush era. Like on his second term, like, all these people do is talk about
they talk a big fucking game.
What they're going to do.
Yeah.
When it comes time for rubber to meet the road, nothing.
Nope.
Said the same thing every single election cycle. They say if you can't catch on by now, I will agree with Crenshaw on one thing. I mean, there's a few things I agree with Crenshaw on. When Crenshaw said, "I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear," I appreciate that. Yeah. Because
people go after Crenshaw in the comments and let his post like, why don't you do something? And I'm sitting here going, oh, okay, but what is he supposed to do? Now, don't get me wrong. There should have been stuff done when Trump was in office, when we had control. Crenshaw is complicit. Where was this? So it's kind of like, yeah, we need to place blame, but accurately and at the right time. So if you're pushing on your elected representative right now, saying Republicans need to do something, they can't. That's why 2020 was so important. That's why you needed to vote. Like I might be wrong on this one, but this is an opinion-based thing here. Voting for your congressional representative is 10 times more important than voting for the president, because Congress has the ability to regulate to a certain degree, whether it be in the House or the Senate. They have the power. If we had Republican control in Congress, Biden would be powerless, couldn't do shit. That's the beauty of checks and balances of a threefold government. It's a beautiful thing there. If you think that voting for the president is more important than voting for your local congressional representative, you do not know how the system works, and you need to wake the fuck up. You need to wake the fuck up. Damn, I'm on one today. Fuck. My dick is hard.
I did see Crenshaw come out and start talking about
impeachment
against Biden, about the open border.
Yeah.
Because it's ultimately falls on the shoulder of
Crenshaw's
the
going to play the
United
game. He's going to play the game. He's smart for doing it. I get it. He's going to play he's going to tell people what they want to hear to an extent. But look, if any Republican is coming out there and saying impeach Biden, it's like, no, I don't want to waste taxpayer money on this. I don't want to waste time on this, because as soon as they introduce that to the floor on the House, it's going to die.
I think there's been multiple things that you could have impeached Biden on just from like the very beginning, like when he first entered office.
No, wait a minute. Wait. You can't impeach a president for just doing a shitty job.
No, not just doing a shitty job.
Now, if he does something illegal, you've got something there.
Yeah. So
what would you impeach Biden for?
I guess all the stuff that was on Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, he had all those.
You're fair there, but good luck getting the FBI to come out and fucking do what's right.
Right, but also like his ties to China his ties to Ukraine, and all that stuff.
But that requires an investigation. The same thing for Trump and the freaking Russian collusion, this deal. Like, we talked about this before, so it's kind of like, I see what you're saying. It's like, if we're pragmatic about this, the FBI has been politically weaponized. That's why we should abolish the FBI.
And obviously, there's people that know a lot more than we do about.
They squish that shit because, again, it's the human element of corruptibility, and it doesn't matter which side you're on. Mm-hmm. And people when people talk about Trump and Stormy Daniels, it's like, look, I'll be honest with you. Do you really think Trump didn't fuck her? He did. It was proven. He paid her hush money. She received like $250,000. It was proven, documented. Why did he pay her that money? Why would any dude in the business world pay a porn star that much money?
Yeah, but I think we all knew who Trump was.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
what I'm just saying is the
right.
human corruption element will always exist in politics, because as long as politicians can get rich, they can essentially favor the markets in any way they want by introducing legislation or whatever the case may be, or favoring government contracts.
You want to know how out of touch the legacy media is and all these Democratic politicians? They were pushing Michael Avenatti.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like as the next president. You want to talk about...
Saw that story. Oh, my God. He's about to represent himself.
They didn't have bad decisions. They wouldn't have any decisions at all.
Bro, that was so great. Because I was telling people, I was telling Turning Point, I arrested these like Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk before they made it really big. When you were strapping yourself to the Kanye rocket because you got one of them, you got yourself a black Democrat to come over. I was like, be careful. This guy that you're strapping yourself to has been known to say some really stupid shit. Kanye is great at music. When it comes to politics, he's a fucking idiot. Don't listen to Kanye.
Yeah,
and then he sits there. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when Kanye went to the Hurricane Katrina thing, was interviewed live, said, Bush hates black people. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
and there he goes to interview President Trump. He's like, we need our commander-in-chief riding on some fly shit. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I know you have influence, but Christ almighty.
Yeah,
and Trump, the only reason Trump let him in was Kanye was a big Trump advocate. Trump was playing to the black community.
He also helped out with prison reform.
Oh, he did. Well,
So
Kim did.
Kim did. So they brought that to the table, and he listened to him, and he said, "This is
to certain people, individuals. Overall, prison reform has not happened."
He pardoned that one lady who was in prison for cocaine for like the rest.
I think that was Kim Kardashian that facilitated that. But even still, I see your point. But at the same token, we still don't have. I mean,
like
their decisions. I take
like
it back. We kind of do. We kind of do.
The decision or the thoughts of a celebrity or anything like that isn't going to make me lean one way or the other.
Bro, you'd be surprised. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like people in general, by and large. So this is one thing I do respect about my following that I love, that they don't view me as some kind of God king.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at a lot of these influencers and you see what they post and you can tell it's rooted in opinion and not fact, but they're making it believe it as if it is fact, their followers eat that shit up hook, line, and sinker. And if you disagree with that, oh my God, the MAGA cult will come after you.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some posts from like DC Drano, Typical Liberal. I know these guys. I'm friends with them. I don't follow them anymore because they post a lot of propaganda. When I would say something, I disagree, and here's why. It wouldn't be a retaliation of or countering my point. It would just be like, oh, you sound like a liberal and you hate Trump. It's like, I just want the truth.
Yeah.
I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Biden. I just want the truth. And if we can't have that, because me disagreeing with something that was posted with the intent of looking like fact, but in reality is rooted in opinion, and I question that, and you come after me for it, what does that say about you and your echo chamber, where your identity is tied to your political leaning?
Mm-hmm.
I used to be that way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sitting here saying that I was. I used to be that way. And then I started realizing maybe separate your identity from an individual figure and tie your identity into the Constitution, because you can't go wrong with that. As long as you stand for freedom, for what's right, and individual liberty, and not man, because man can fail, you're putting yourself on a good spot to be in. Saying, when somebody says, do you support Trump? It's like, which policy? I mean, do you support him? Which policy? I can't say over like generalize everything. Give me the policy and I will tell you where I stand on individual policy. How do you stand on Biden? I think it's basically the canceling of the Keystone Pipeline was ridiculous. I think him going after trying to raise taxes is ridiculous. The Build Back Better plan was going to fucking bankroll so much bullshit.
That whole Afghanistan thing.
The Afghanistan debacle, the drone strike. But, these policies, I will tell you where I stand. By and large, I think right now he's doing a horrible job as president. I remember when he first got elected, I said it on the show. I was like, look, I sincerely hope Biden does good. And people didn't like me saying that. Oh, you support Democrats right now? I was like, no. But I think for the betterment of all America, I hope him and Kamala do a good job. I hope that we do see an era to where we can unite as a country. But I knew it wasn't going to happen. I mean, come on, we all did. We all knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, he's
a moron.
Yeah, he's just a.
But it's not going to be me sitting
puppet.
there. It's not me sitting there intentionally saying, I hope he fails. Because remember Rush Limbaugh, before he died, was even saying the opposite. Like, I hope Obama does fail. Because we need to show that Democrats can't help. It's like, look, here's the thing. If something is successful, I don't give a fuck who's the one that implemented it. As long as it doesn't violate our constitutional rights and America betters for it, I'm cool with it.
I think we were all pretty naive of when Obama first went in office.
Oh, yeah.
He's very eloquent speaker.
Let me be clear. if you like your doctor, you can keep them.
Got
That was a
hope and
lie.
change and,
And
transparent.
They'll
and then
fine you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it turned out to just be a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
A bunch of political bullshit
I think
that
by
he's
and large,
whipped up.
a lot of people on the left can't tell you what Obama did good.
Nothing.
Obamacare, really? That's worked out so well.
I
And the fact that you're going to fine me if I
so,
don't have health insurance,
Yeah.
that's fucking unconstitutional.
there's got to be some people that,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Obamacare. I'm like, yeah, so
I'm just over it.
like that should dictate how the rest of us live.
Exactly. That
If
doesn't make sense to me.
If three people benefit from it, okay.
Here is
All
the
right.
link to the All American Savage Show website. Go sign up for the emails, ladies and gentlemen. Do not miss out on this. We're going to be writing articles, getting all that stuff, and stay in contact with you so that if Josh and I get banned, we still can talk to you. Say, hey, look, articles are still going up. The website will still continue to host the podcast. You can listen in. If Instagram and Facebook pulls us all down, you still have access to us. You're going to know where to go. You'll get updates from the website. So if Instagram bans me on one account and I create another one, you'll know where to go. Go look at the website. I'll update the link where to find me. The Telegram chat room, all of these things. All of these things. It's going to be where you can find me. No matter what, you'll be able to find my information there. All right. Let's continue. This is interesting right here. We got a long show today. I've been like blue balling over here. This is from Salon or MSN.com. And the quotation is, Trump has it completely wrong. Allies revolt after Trump endorses rival to MAGA darling. Hold on. Top allies of former President Donald Trump pushed back after he endorsed a former administration aide over a conservative influencer who is highly popular on the far right. They're doing it again. I don't even know who this is about. On Tuesday, Trump endorsed Morgan Ortagus, a former State Department spokeswoman and Fox News contributor, in the upcoming Republican primary in Tennessee's 5th Congressional District. Incumbent Representative Jim Cooper, a Democrat, has announced that he will retire, saying that Republicans had dismembered his longtime Nashville district for partisanship gain. Morgan was fantastic in her role working with Secretary Mike Pompeo at the U.S. State Department and understands the threats posed by China, Russia, Iran, and others, and will be tough, not just roll over like the Democrats and rhinos, Trump said in his statement. She won't bow to the woke mob like the leftist lamestream media. Morgan Ortagus will have my complete and total endorsement if she decides to run. The statement brought immediate and highly unusual pushback from some of Trump's most ardent supporters. Nope, Trump has this completely wrong, tweeted conservative pundit Candace Owens, writing that the correct pick is Robbie Starbuck, a former music video producer running as pro-MAGA Republican in the district. Former Trump aide Sebastian Gorka and former Trump lawyer Jenna Ellis echoed that sentiment. Starbuck is running on a platform to crack down on ballot access, so-called critical race theory, LGBTQ rights, and big tech companies. It's unclear why Trump snubbed Starbuck in favor of Ortagus, who called him disgusting during his 2016 campaign before joining his administration. Numerous other Trump allies joined in backing Starbuck over Trump's preferred candidate. Okay, this proves my point once again. This proves it once again. Why the fuck do you care what Trump has to say? Once you're out of office, fade away. Trump's got a chokehold on the GOP now. You got to be careful with that. Now I'm going to take it a step further for you. If you're you still here? You still listening? Did I lose you yet? If we say that about Trump having that much power and control over who gets nominated and who doesn't by virtue of his endorsement, the same rule applies to Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Madison Cawthorn, every single politician that wants to endorse somebody else running. You should ignore them. Why? Here's why. Research for yourself. If you live in that district, research for yourself. Stop taking the word of somebody else whom you don't know. Maybe there's an ulterior motive behind why Trump endorsed the woman. Maybe there's an ulterior motive as to why Candace Owens endorsed somebody else. And you know the reason why I would say that is Candace got her start with Turning Point. Now, I'm not saying this is true or not. I don't know. But this is why it questions everyone's motive. So in order to prevent that from occurring, don't listen to what they have to say when it comes to endorsing a political candidate. When I interviewed Tony Cowden, I asked him hard questions like, where do you stand on this? Where do you stand on that? And then you, the viewer, can make up your mind whether you like him or you don't. If Bo Hines wants to come on the show, I will interview him as well. He's running against Tony. I will interview everybody. I don't I don't care. Vote based upon what the individual candidate has said, or go look at their website. Go look at their website and see what they say. Stop taking the opinions of all those people out there.
Or look at their track record.
Look at their track record. Who they've endorsed in the past, exactly.
And if it's somebody new, I mean, if their opponent has a shitty track record, then
somebody
vote them
said,
out.
for some reason, I just don't trust Candace, Shapiro, Tatum. Look, I'll be honest with you. If they are any way associated Turning Point, I don't trust them. To include Crenshaw and the rest of them. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. I think
taking everybody with a little bit of grain of salt.
Yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
So
treat them. Yeah. I want to see for myself. It's one of those things of I don't give a fuck what any influencer has to say.
Yeah.
I don't even listen to Officer Tatum. When they campaigned so hard for Trump, like I did not trust them. I was like, oh man, like you are going down that road of just Trump loyalism. You know, I can't trust that. I got to see it for myself.
Some things too with Shapiro is he seemed to be a little bit of a war hawk. Like
Shapiro, it's hard to say with Shapiro. Yeah. Shapiro also, you know, I would say that by and large, I feel like Shapiro is. I like his segment on praise Trump when Trump does good and criticize him when he does bad. But do I think that Shapiro probably has motives as well? I 100% think so. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I think everybody.
He seems to be like that, kind of that old establishment type of mentality. To me, anyway.
You know, I think Shapiro is a lot more libertarian.
My president has to be this.
Yeah.
He has to be this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your president, he's got to check all these.
Yeah. He's the glass houses kind of guy.
Right.
Like my president needs to live a good life.
He has to speak well.
Yeah.
He has to dress the right way. He has to know how to interact.
Well, I think for Shapiro, it's more based on morality code.
Yeah,
which I can understand. Because he said himself. I used to listen to a pod. He said himself that many times, talking about like I want my elected president to have a strict moral code, things like that, and I can understand that. But at the same token,
who in politics has
exactly
like nobody?
Now, to be fair, Trump is not a morally sound character.
No.
Look, I don't give a fuck who you are. He is not. But he did do some great jobs in certain areas of government.
No,
there's no denying that.
He's a great businessman.
Yeah.
You can't deny the fact that that guy is 100%. A great businessman. He built himself an empire.
Yeah.
You know, he ran for public office.
Yeah.
And he won the presidency of the United States.
I do love how people are like, oh, he inherited from his father. Say, okay.
Yeah,
so I challenge you, if you inherited $1 million, convert that.
Yeah.
Let's see you make more, because I don't think people realize how hard it is to make money, even with
in
money.
New York.
Fuck yeah, New York.
I mean, you just can't, you know.
Now, do I think Trump had a leg up? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think he'll tell you that too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but he just didn't take that money and retire. He didn't pull a Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
You know, he just didn't get a
Hunter Biden is just a piece of shit human being.
I mean,
he got dishonorably discharged from the Navy for doing fucking drugs as an officer.
I don't know that you could be a bigger piece of shit.
Yeah. That guy is just a horrible human being.
Than that guy.
I know. But yeah, so that's coming from.
Talk about getting a free pass.
So Biden can't let Sinema and Manchin short circuit his Supreme Court nomination. This is actually a really good argument. And this goes more into the political aspect of the game of politics, rather. So for those who don't know, Kyrsten Sinema, Manchin essentially are the ones that blocked the Build Back Better plan from Joe Biden's administration. They kiboshed that shit. Because again, in the House, it's a 50-50 split with Kamala being the deciding vote. Democrats have got to be united to get something passed, to push. Republicans have to be the exact same way. Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin basically said, no, we're not going to allow that much money to get spent. This is ridiculous. And it destroyed it. It's over. Democrats hate Sinema and Manchin for that. They hate that. So now they have essentially ostracized them. They have criticized them. They harassed Sinema in the bathroom. Like, they went after these people. So now, guess what they have to rely upon? This is why the political optics of this, like a lot of these people on the left were not thinking. It's like, be careful when you go after these two senators. Like, be very careful, because now you need them.
Sinema seems like she might be the vindictive type.
I hope Sinema is vindictive.
Oh, yeah,
because it's like,
too.
You know what you put me through? Fine, it's fucking war. I'm still in the seat, and anything you try and do, I'm going to counter. Do I think she will? I really don't. But how cool would that be?
She couldn't even go take a dump without being harassed and filmed.
That's crazy, yeah. Bongino was talking about how Kamala might not be the deciding vote. That's what we're getting to. Like, I don't think Kamala will be. You've got to have a united Democratic front, and I don't think they're going to. We'll see.
Like Manchin, I could see voting, but Sinema, to me, seems like
we'll see.
She could be a wild card.
I hope she is. I like that. I like the fact that the DNC is scared. They're going to kiss their ass now.
Spicy. Well,
so right now, the article is coming from CNN saying Biden can't let Sinema and Manchin short-circuit his Supreme Court nomination. This is an opinion on CNN. And CNN is scared. That's why they're publishing this article. This is a pressure piece right here. When Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer announced his impending retirement, Democrats rejoiced. Now, here's the thing. Realistically, doesn't matter if Democrats get another, SCOTUS in there. It's not going to change. They're essentially replacing one Democrat for another. We still have somewhat of a conservative leaning in the SCOTUS. Somewhat.
Roberts is
hit or miss. But realistically, this is not going to be a loss. They are probably going to get a Democrat in there. It's going to happen. Do not get it twisted. Guaranteed Biden's going to fucking, I shouldn't say force one in there. It's going to go through the process. He's going to nominate somebody. They're going to have to go through congressional approval. And realistically, the best case scenario on this is we get like some kind of libertarian-based judge, but it's not going to happen. A judge that's more centerline.
It would be unheard of to have somebody who's a constitutionalist.
Shut the fuck up. What? Get out of here. You get the fuck out of this office right now. How dare you use some common sense like that?
I know.
To favor the Constitution over political party.
Who do you think you
Alec killed a guy.
Yeah, and Alec shot somebody.
Biden shit his pants in the Vatican. And that's why we're never going on Fox. It isn't that they aren't pleased with Breyer's work. He has served as a critical liberal vote on a court that has taken a sharp shift to the right in recent years. But stepping down will ensure President Joe Biden will nominate a replacement who could maintain a seat on the bench for decades to come. Again, this is exactly why even the Supreme Court needs term limits. Republicans or Democrats should not be able to put somebody in that position for life. Yeah. No. Because now these people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the rest of them that are like on the cusp of dying have no business being in those roles, and they will not step down.
Nope.
They will not step
down. They won't either.
They won't, no. I'm surprised this guy is, but he's probably getting tired of it. I'm sick of this bullshit. I want to go home.
It's how old is he? 600 years old?
He's like his 80s, I think. No. Okay, here's what's crazy about it. A few potential nominees have already been floated around the D.C. Circuit. Judge Keating, Joan Brown, Jackson, a bunch of black women. If you're watching Twitch right now, these are the picks. These are the picks. I think I can't tell if she's white. Majority of which are black.
No. He said He said a black woman. So
Biden said during his campaign run that if he gets it, he's going to put a black woman on the SCOTUS. Wow. Again, racist as fuck.
I know. Imagine if he said
racist
white
as fuck. I'm going to put a white woman there. That's racist. So what changes it?
I'm going to give you a list of white women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't even give a list.
So basically, it gives a list of these people. Also, all these judges. Lendra Kruger, one of the youngest appointees to the California Supreme Court at age 45, clerk for the late Justice John Paul Stevens, and served as an acting deputy solicitor general under former President Barack Obama. There's also South Carolina U.S. District Judge Michelle Childs, who was a strong support from House Majority Whip James Clyburn. On paper, it should be a smooth sailing for Biden to get his nomination confirmed. Since Senate Republicans carved out Supreme Court picks from the filibuster in 2017, the president only needs a simple majority to move through the confirmation process, which brings us back to Kristen Sinema and Manchin. Are they going to toe the line in the DNC and vote unanimously with whom Biden appoints? Now you're seeing the political game here, ladies and gentlemen. Are you starting to see behind the curtain now? Because anytime I think about stuff like this, I think of like back in the Netflix series The Tudors. Like, go watch that. It's a great series. This is the political game. Be careful of the ass you're kicking today because you might have to kiss it tomorrow. You got to be careful with that. Mm-hmm. This is the political game. And I think the other article came out from Fox News basically saying Biden said he'll nominate a black woman to Supreme Court by the end of February. So we should be finding out who Biden's pick is by February, because right now his aides and everything are scrambling. Okay, what black woman can we get? What black woman can we get? What black woman can we gotta get? We gotta get a black one. It's gotta be black and a female. Well, you saw how that worked out for you for your vice presidential pick. It kind of blew up in your face. And you're going to make that same mistake again? Why? Because you're a rich, white liberal and you're stupid.
Luckily, they had all those extra ballots laying around.
I'm telling you. Oh, my God. Last article. Then we're going to close this up because it's almost time for us to go home.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis blasts Jen Psaki for lying about Florida antibody treatments. He says she lies through her teeth every single day. Yes, she does. She's a piece of shit.
Total.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis held a roundtable discussion Wednesday and blasted White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki for lying about Florida's handling of the Chinese coronavirus, as well as the effectiveness of monoclonal antibody treatments, asserting that she lies through her teeth every single day in her efforts to prop up the regime's actions. DeSantis hosted the roundtable discussion in Miami at a monoclonal antibody treatment site, which was forced to close due to the Biden administration's actions, prohibiting the use of the treatments, resulting in thousands of Floridians having their appointments to receive the life-saving treatment canceled abruptly without notice. Why? Look, my question is, okay, so I don't know a lot about this topic right now here. Why does Biden even have that right?
Exactly. You know what?
Florida, like, I think DeSantis should be like, no, you can't tell a business to close. Go fuck yourself. You don't have that authority. Well, they should stay open. I hope they stay open.
Well, the problem is they have the,
Are they controlling the manufacturing and distribution?
Like the whole medical community. So I think there was just a...
this right here only shows why the government should not be in league with healthcare, because now they regulate.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because even if you're a doctor and you're prescribing it, you could have your license taken away.
Which is bullshit.
Which means you can't practice medicine anymore.
Bullshit. Again,
so they just don't fire you, but they'll actually take your license away.
You can't practice medicine. Yep.
Right.
100%.
So, but their claim is that...
Are you starting to see the money trail now, ladies and gentlemen? Are you starting to see who is losing money when you go this direction? The same case in point, I think it was Pfizer, or I forget who it was. They're trying to replicate the monoclonal. They're trying to do the same thing on their own because they see the science is shifting. They realize the vaccine is bullshit. They can't get away with it anymore, and now they're going to do something else.
The science is the science.
Yeah, and it's changing. It's changing.
It's the comprehension of it is what is changing.
Yeah.
So what can fight against it, what cannot fight against it. So the science is always going to be the science. It's just the comprehension.
Well, I think people also think that science is finite. Like whatever science comes out, that's what we've got. And it's like, no, that's not the case. It changes. It's constantly changing.
I think it's more perception changes rather than the actual science itself. Like 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4.
Yeah, but I also think at the same token, though, in regards to, you're talking about mathematics versus science. If we look at what Fauci has done in the past in regards to how he fucked up the AIDS epidemic.
Right.
He should have been fired back then.
Oh, yeah.
Again, welcome government officials that didn't make that happen, and Trump didn't either. But let's talk about the fact that I think Fauci and them didn't know for sure. Nobody knew. But how they handled it was wrong, because as they discovered new things, I mean, we remember the images that were being shown in China of people just dropping dead.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that in America? I never saw that. But what happened was there was this perpetual push by MSM to scare the shit out of everybody. What did America do? We followed suit. CNN, Fox, all of them ran the same propaganda bullshit. And the science changed. Oh, well, suddenly, this age, I mean, it went from everyone's going to die to now it's slowly starting to dwindle. Oh, no. Well, about 90%, or they said like 80%, 81% of those that have died from COVID have been over the age of 65 and had various different other issues that COVID impacted relating to their death. That's not what they pushed at the get-go. So what did Lord Fauci do from the get-go? Wear a mask. Wear 2 masks. Shut the businesses down. This is going to be so crazy. Everyone's going to die. And the science, they've realized as they went on, has changed because they've been able to study it. But what they did was they screamed, the sky is falling from the get-go, and that train, that locomotive they filled with so much propaganda is going so fast, they can't stop it, because if they do, they have to admit they were wrong on some things. They won't do it. Hubris comes into play here, because now the science has changed again. Why do you think the Biden administration is trying to put a kibosh on the monoclonal antibodies? Follow the money on this one. Pharmaceutical companies are making fucking bank. Making bank, ladies and gentlemen. The federal government should never have the ability to regulate the healthcare industry. All they've done is botched it. They have screwed it up. Imagine someone coming and telling you as a doctor, you can't give this medication. Why? It's been proven to work because the government says so. Fuck the government. The government is withholding a treatment that has been proven to work. It has been proven to work. And they're shutting it down. And guess what they're also going to shut down? Any dissenting opinions that don't agree. This is the very same thing that Democrats accuse Trump of. Fascism. controlling the narrative, controlling the news, making you bend the knee to the mob and the government by controlling it by using the government as your regulator. That is the very definition of fascism. So congrats, Democrats. Everything that you said Trump was, he wasn't, but your new dictator-in-chief is, and you will not admit it. You will not acknowledge that. Such fucking hypocrisy is ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. That ends it for today's episode of the All American Savage Show podcast. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. We're going to try and get it to where we're doing these things around 11:30 a.m. CST. We're going to try and get better at the scheduling. Again, you can find this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Now, again, before we go, here is the website. Sign up here for the email list, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't cost you anything. I'm not going to spam it with bullshit. You have my word on that. It is allamericansavageshow.com. Scroll down, sign up for the email list. Soon, maybe tomorrow, we'll start posting blogs and articles for you to read, taking you to informational sites that you yourself can read without the censorship of big tech. Fuck big tech. Fuck the government. It's time to start the revolution, the big tech revolution. And let's get it started. Bongino's doing it. Frasilla's doing it. It's time for us to do it. It's basically saying, if big tech wants to censor us, we'll find alternative means to get the information out there. No more federal government controlling the narrative. Now we, the people, take back charge. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should have been from the get-go. Got that outro music? Let's do it. So again, this episode is brought to you by shellshockcbd.com. We appreciate your love and support. Again, the website to sign up is allamericansavageshow.com. Make sure you check it out. You can follow me on Twitter at Sergeant Savage. You can follow me on Instagram at JohnBurke11B. And everything we're doing from here on out is to try and push people to the website, to share the articles, to share the videos, to share the podcast, to get the information out there so you, the listener, the viewer, can make up your own mind. If you disagree with me, I encourage that. I want that. Don't be an echo chamber. Don't think like I think. Think for yourself. Be a critical thinker that hears somebody's opinion and say, I'm not going to take that as gospel. I'm going to question and make up my own mind. That's all I want to do. I'm going to give my opinion. Josh is give us his. Sometimes we don't agree, and that's great. That's what we want. But what I won't do is sit there and say Josh can't talk because we disagree. Now I have created my own echo chamber. We're not going to do that. So again, sign up on allamericansavageshow.com and sign up for the email list so we can keep you in the know. Anything to add, my man?
Yeah, make sure you support us at Shell Shock CBD.
Shellshockcbd.com. You can check out our great product variety out there. If you have trouble with sleep, anxiety, things like that, we have got you covered. Again, shellshockcbd.com, code Burke will save you 10%. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for supporting our voices by listening, tuning in, subscribing on Twitch. The donations, you guys are fucking amazing. I love you. God bless you. And we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, roughly around 11:30 a.m. CST on All American Savage Show podcast.